guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Unpopular hip opinions because Youngseo's debuting in YG's girl group.
Huh?
I remember we watched yesterday that she's debuted and we concluded it was just speculation. What are you confused about?
Let's go before with the video. Thank you.
1. Is Youngseo debuting in YG's upcoming girl group? After snatching second place on Are You Next, she dipped out of Illit just weeks before debut with zero explanation. Did she leave? Did they kick her out? Who knows? She ghosted the entire scene for months. Then suddenly she's spotted with Hi Up Entertainment's new girl group lineup, rubbing elbows with XSM trainee Na Haeun and Park Yoon from Island Season 2. So is she debuting with Stacey's sister group now? But wait, the plot thickens. Rumors start flying that she's joining YG's next girl group. Fans are out here CSA.
Right, because when we did the first time reaction, it was Stacy's cousin or sister group. Then yesterday we did, she's like, oh, and YG, and we were like, I don't know about that.
Analyzing grainy photos of some girl in a ponytail entering the YG building like it's solid proof. I mean, wasn't she also rumored to have signed with the Black label and be part of Meow? Now the talk is she's been training for YG's upcoming 4-member group.
Dang.
Honestly,
at
it's
least
hard
her
to take any
name
of this at face
is
value.
being thrown around
That's
to be a
good
part
for
of
her,
something.
yeah.
You know,
That's good for her.
They put her in something. Stat.
Big Four companies rarely re-sign idols who dropped from their own groups pre or post-debut, no matter how popular. But Youngseo's clean record might be her saving grace. People love to throw
We've
fits
seen
when
it
idols
before.
terminate contracts without a
The
scandal.
girlie
Like
from who's in Le Seraphim. She's from a group that
Yeah, Les Seraphim has two girls from
and she's doing
iZone,
quite
I think.
well.
Oh, the
iZone
public an
too.
expose.
On top of that,
But I respect
iZone.
companies that handle things
Thanks for
quietly
iZone.
instead of leaking private mess that could end an idol's future. JYP's been doing that for years, and more should follow suit. 2. Rise's new album just pulled 1.8 million sales in its first week. Not their first million seller, but the
Wow.
irony is so loud. People were foaming at the mouth over Sunghan, screaming boycott like it was a battle cry, dragging SM like they'd burned down an orphanage.
Yeah, but
and
behind
yet,
the
here y'all
scenes,
are eating it
they
up.
still wanna
Numbers higher
stream
than
it.
ever.
They
SM
still
knew
wanna
exactly what they were
listen.
doing when they cut Sunghan loose. They saw the fake outrage for what it was. Loud performative noise that would die down the second they dangled a maybe solo debut bone in front of you. The boycott evaporated by the first comeback. The fandom got rebuilt practically overnight. And now no one even
What are these jeans though?
mentions
almost look like
Sunghan anymore.
chaps.
Yeah, it looks like chaps, but it's not. It's just like jeans made to look like chaps.
That doesn't scream he's
And it looks like there's two belts. There's like a painted belt or whatever, a sewn-in belt, and the actual belt.
done. I don't know what does.
What the
SM
fuck?
has zero incentive
Fashion.
to keep investing
That's
in a
not
liability
fair.
when
I
the
don't know
group
what
is
the fuck
thriving
that
without
is.
him.
I like
And let's
that
talk
better
about those
than a
sales for a
plain
second.
jean.
Rise's album has 26 freaking versions. Yes, 26 versions for a 6-member group. It's the K-pop version of a money grab on steroids, preying on collectors and stands with no impulse control. You're not selling music at that point. You're selling cardboard and keychains. It's psychological warfare on teenage wallets.
Ooh.
And for what? The same 10 songs recycled across covers like Pokemon cards. SM knows exactly what they're doing. Feeding the collector addiction and milking stands dry under the illusion of supporting their faves. It's predatory. And it sets a disgusting precedent where chart numbers become less about public demand and more about who can bleed their fanbase the hardest. If a group needs 26 versions to chart that high, maybe the product ain't as strong as y'all think. 3. Soo-man's
I mean, she has a point in there in the last sentence,
She
but
didn't have her feelings like that.
listen,
It ain't as popular as you think.
if y'all buying it, they're gonna keep making it. So it's like, to me, like I don't really care. It doesn't bother me at all. If people are stupid enough to buy it, then of course make it. Why not? Why would you leave money on the table?
documentary was trash. King of K-pop? More like king of gaslighting and manipulation. I just watched it and it was a revolting PR stunt masquerading as a legacy piece. And the fact that it was being pushed as some grand cultural chronicle is offensive to
You
fans,
should watch it. I
idols,
think
and
it's on
workers who
Amazon.
bled for SM's success while Soo-man sat on his throne, collecting
I forgot
royalty
about
checks
it.
and rewriting history with a smirk. It's historical defamation wrapped in glossy visuals and funeral clips. Yes, funeral clips. This man really had the gall to include footage from Shiny's Jonghyun's actual funeral in his little vanity reel. That alone should have gotten this documentary buried 6 feet under next to whatever credibility Soo-man has left. Let's start with his comment on the ex-TVXQ members. Soo-man claims the trio was financially tempted by a cosmetics business? No, they were exhausted, exploited, and done being slaves. These were men collapsing under schedules that looked more like prisoner labor rotations than idol work. We're talking 20-hour days across countries. No rest and a cut of the earnings so slim it would be illegal in most industries. But Soo-man's takeaway? They were just greedy. And then he admits to blacklisting them like it's some noble act of K-pop preservation. They were our concept, not people, not humans, a concept, a product. And this is the man the documentary wants you to praise? The same man who spent the last decade quietly kneecapping the careers of ex-TVXQ, Jessica, Hanging, CBX, and half of China's K-pop exports? The same man whose grip was so toxic it took 15 years for Jaejung to be allowed back on Korean broadcast after leaving? And let's not ignore the biggest red flag. He openly brags that the contracts XTVXQ fought against and sparked actual Korean labor reform are still being used today. As if that's something to be proud of, it's dystopian. Then we hit the exploitation of Jonghyun and Sully. This is where the documentary morphs from delusional into disgusting. There's no segment on SHINee's legacy, no deep dive on FX's musical innovation, just a shallow exploitative glimpse of two tragic deaths, stripped of context, artistry, or compassion. The footage of Jonghyun's funeral isn't a tribute, it's trauma fetish, used to prop up Lee Soo-man's fake narrative about how deeply he cared, and no, showing Espa's unhappy MV immediately after talking about those deaths is not a tribute, it's emotional whiplash, it's tacky, it's soulless and it's marketing. He's trying to use death, literal death, to sell himself as a reflective misunderstood genius. That is some next-level sociopathic PR. And then he pivots to bragging about implementing therapy? Give me a break. Therapy isn't a shield you hide behind when the system you built continues to chew up and spit out idols. The Jonghyun
You know
and
what's
Sully
awkward?
segments
Her talking about this and the people doing the dances.
feel like checkbox moments. See, we addressed mental health, but they're dehumanized, boiled down to tragedies Lee Soo-man could indirectly benefit from. No talk about the years of neglect, the trauma, the silence in the face of stalking and abuse. No acknowledgement that this very company is still feeding young rookies to the same exploitative machine.
But I mean, she's coming for the guy. But that's not what the video was. Not the video. The documentary, I guess, was about. The documentary was not about all like issues in K-pop. The documentary was about his success in K-pop. That's how I take it. If it says King of K-pop, that means the documentary is about him. It's not about K-pop. So why would he show the issues in K-pop system? Why would he show how idols are being treated unfairly?
I mean,
That has nothing to do with his success. The video is about
part
his
of
success.
his success is some of the struggles and the issues that you have to go through. It's not like they didn't happen. I think he could have fleshed it out a little bit better and acknowledged it properly.
It's hard to say how much you acknowledge without,
Yeah.
watching it. I'm just kind of going at. It's just the stuff that she's saying to me.
It seems like he brushed it off, though.
Yeah, but it's not like about that. That has the video. The movie's about him. It's not about K-pop. Like if you want to watch a documentary about how K-pop is treating their idols or something like that, then okay, those issues would have to be detailed in the video.
But then you would still have to hold the person accountable because he was involved in it. So it's not like he gets to move away from talking about himself. I don't think you could talk about your success if you don't acknowledge, some of the issues you have, because it's
Why? You only
unrealistic.
focus on the positive.
Yeah, but
Of course it's
something
unrealistic, that's the whole
everyone. But
point.
the thing is it's not like something that people don't know. It's like they're just
But
choosing
why?
not to talk
Okay,
about
right,
it.
exactly. But why would you choose to talk about negatives?
It's like you talking about a story. If you're the king, let's talk about the king of pop. It's like talking about Michael Jackson and not bringing up his lawsuits. It's like, come on.
Okay, but Michael Jackson now is dead, so yeah. The difference is if Michael Jackson's making his own documentary, he's not going to include that.
Then that's not your real story.
Of course, it's not his real story, but that's the
Well,
story he's portraying.
that's why they're criticizing. That's why he's getting dragged by his eyelashes.
I mean, the criticisms, of course, is fair. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that the guy produced his own
Then it's not a good
biography.
Yeah, it's not a good biography.
Then of course he's gonna only highlight the positives. He's not gonna go into negatives.
No, he doesn't look real.
Of course,
that's the
nobody in K-pop look real.
I mean, look, he's getting called out for it though.
Fair enough.
Then there's the cherry on top, the embezzlement section. This man, who was literally under Interpol surveillance, looks into the camera and has the audacity to say, if I really did something wrong, would I be here today? Of course you would. You're rich, powerful.
What exactly? Like, what is he gonna say? Y'all want him to confess? Like, oh yeah, I embezzled. Like, what?
No, but acknowledge, like, yeah,
Acknowledge
I did, like,
Why would he acknowledge that?
because everyone is looking at him like,
Exactly, and he
no.
said no. Like, come on, yeah, people have to have common sense too. Ain't nobody gonna incriminate themselves in these like documentaries or whatever. Whenever we watch these documentaries that are especially
And
self-produced,
some are good, some are bad. This is the one that's like, okay, it's him blowing smoke.
yes, but why did we have different expectations? Why anybody expected him to come in and, say
Because that could
confess all the
possibly
crimes he
change
committed?
public opinion about you. Like, oh wow, he's like,
Yeah, wow, that to me that's just naivety.
At
I
first,
don't-
I thought he was a bad guy, a villain. But wow, after watching his bio, I have a change of heart. I kind of know the
that's
man
just being naive.
in
I'm
his head.
sorry.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
Ain't
there's a lot
nobody
of
coming out and
Stop. No, don't act like that. Don't act like you never seen like someone's bio and you're like, oh wow, I got a different take of this person because they were like real and they put their stuff out there to be criticized. I can respect that.
Like who?
There's a lot of people we could go name a list. At one point,
Are they like on their dying bed and writing a
no,
document? Because that's different.
at one point, P Diddy got a really good bio. even though everyone know what
So
he
he
was doing.
confessed all this shit in the bio when he
No,
did it.
before. Listen. He talked about the issue, the conspiracy and what everyone was
And
talking
he
about.
denied it.
He didn't deny it, but he was like, but
What?
he
But he was like, what? What he say?
don't be difficult. You get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say in essence, there can be someone who could be the absolute villain. They do a bio, and if it's done right and well, you can have a different perspective of them. Like at one point, Wendy Williams, they looked at her like she was kooky, but then when they had a bio for her, you kind of understood like how she came up and her struggles and everything. You go, oh, okay, let's be kinder, nicer. But of course, someone else can also do a bio and kind of make you believe the narrative that they want to push. So it's really the in the control of the director. So it's like not that deep, but come on. That's the feedback that he's getting is pretty much letting everyone know that no one buying what you're saying. So period.
And you know exactly how to play the legal system in a country where cable execs regularly walk free with a slap on the wrist. That line is not an alibi, it's a flex. And a horrifying one, let's not forget. He sold off his SM shares to Hybe in the middle of a corporate coup. The man doesn't care about K-pop. He doesn't care about SM. He cares about power and profit. And now that he just launched a new group under A20, this whole documentary is just a 2-hour ad campaign. It's not history. It's a rebranding exercise.
they see
A
right
delusional
there.
attempt to whitewash his legacy while dragging every ex-artist, producer, and employee through the mud. The self-praise doesn't stop. Soo-man takes credit for every innovation SM ever had, as if the hundreds of employees didn't exist. Iconic songs? My idea. Groundbreaking concepts? That was me. Girl groups he barely mentioned? Their songs are playing in my documentary. So you're welcome. The arrogance is astounding. The erasure of actual creators. The snubbing of veteran artists like Boa, EXO, and Red Velvet in favor of Soo-man's new trainees. It's a grotesque display of ego with zero substance to back it up. Bottom line, this isn't a documentary. It's a eulogy to a man's ego, a grotesque self-serving attempt at rewriting decades of manipulation, abuse, and greed as visionary leadership. Soo-man
And
is
you
not
think,
the
oh, what you
misunderstood
thought it was
father of
supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I could have told you before watching this. I could have told you that's what it's gonna be like. So I don't know why we're sitting here surprised that this is what it is.
K-pop. He is the architect of an industry built on silence, overwork, and power plays, and this documentary proves, in his own words and actions, that he has never once reflected on the damage he's done. If you want to learn about the history of K-pop, talk to the idols who lived it, the producers who built it, the fans who saw through the smoke. Don't let this man write the final draft. He already wrote too many NDAs. 4. 17's Thunder want to be a dance floor banger, but it's painfully generic. You've got all this fast-paced production, but the track has zero direction. It doesn't build, it doesn't hit hard, and it doesn't
I feel like
evolve.
they
It
know
just
how
loops
to
around
make
like it's stuck
music that hits the radio. It's gonna be played till death. Till
in the
death.
first draft. Let's start with the basics. Where's the actual songwriting? The entire hook is them spelling the word thunder like we're in kindergarten, and it doesn't even sound good. No melody, no dynamic change, no clever phrasing. Just the same flat delivery dumped onto a lifeless beat. And don't try
I actually think the hook was really good. That was definitely the highlight of the song for me.
to excuse it as a minimalist choice. It's not minimal, it's underwritten. The track being under 3 minutes is also a joke. You can't pull off an impactful club track if you don't even give it time to breathe. There's no room to build up energy, no room to escalate, no time for anything to sink in. The second you think it might go somewhere, it's already over. The production feels cautious. For a genre that's supposed to explode, the mix sounds afraid to make any real noise. The bass doesn't punch, the synths don't go anywhere, and the chorus completely backs off when it should be going all in. It feels like the whole thing was mixed with a limiter on fun. Nothing about it feels big, bold, or aggressive enough to justify its genre label. 4.
Yeah, not their best song, definitely, but I did like the
I
hook.
liked it.
I like the hook a lot. I think that hook was they to me something about that hook they just really ate. But the rest of the song, yeah, it's mid.
Kickflip's comeback freeze is what happens when a group has one solid idea and then completely fumbles everything around it. The pop rock chorus is clearly where their head was at. It's loud, confident, and finally gives the song some actual drive. But the road to get there? A mess. The verses are stiff, the rhythm is clunky, and there's no flow. The bass just
Basically what I said in so few words.
loops without doing anything useful, and the vocals feel locked in a rigid pattern that drags everything down. The chorus and pre-chorus work because they're straightforward. No overthinking, no weird tricks, just solid catchy hooks. But then they ruin it again with everything else. Those jarring tempo cuts and chanted freeze breakdowns feel like they were thrown in for no reason other than to scream, look, we're quirky, but they don't add anything. 5.
Look, we're
Shiny
quirky.
Yeah, that's what I said. I felt like yeah, as I was saying, that punk rock type of vibe, I felt it was good, but then we get a little hip hop. It just was too much going on in the song. 5 genres in one song. It too, as she said, it's too clunky. I honestly agree with her.
His comeback poet artist was beautiful. The track isn't just written by Jonghyun, it also features his vocals since it was originally from Jonghyun's second album. This isn't a song you review. It's a memory you hold in your chest like it's too fragile to touch. The moment Jonghyun's voice slips in, it haunts in the softest, most bittersweet way. You can feel the years peel back. It's OT5 shiny again just for a fleeting breath, and that alone is everything. The production doesn't try to chase trends or reinvent the wheel because it doesn't have to. This track isn't here to compete, it's here to commemorate, aching space between nostalgia and tribute. It's a love letter sealed in sound, and if that's not worth celebrating, nothing is. Rest in peace, our sweet angel, and that's all for today. As for the Irene and Solgi comeback review, it'll be included in tomorrow's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.
That's the first time I was like this.
Nah, I think she said bye before. But
Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.